Hardspace Shipbreaker is a game I've heard about for quite some time. As it was only available on PC though, I had never gotten a chance to try it out. Thanks to my beefy new rig and the wonders of Xbox Game Pass on PC, I've finally gotten to spend some quality time with this absolute gem of a game. I've chopped up dozens of ships while floating above the earth, suffered violent decompressions that sent me flying into a furnace, only to be reborn anew in a freshly cloned body, which added greatly to my never-ending debt. This game is fantastic, and I hope it comes to consoles sometime soon so that everyone can enjoy its sometimes terrifying but always satisfying game loop. This is the XboxEra review of Hardspace Shipbreaker for Windows PC. The premise of the game is a simple one. You're a salvager living in orbit above the Earth. Starting with a massive over $1 billion in debt, you will spend your days chopping apart defunct spaceships piece by piece and moving the precious materials into multiple specific areas. The campaign is a well-written and excellently crafted tutorial for all the different types of situations that will become present in the other main modes of the game, which are free play and a leaderboard-focused time trial. Things start out rather simply though, as you are led by the hand through the first handful of basic ships. The main tools at your disposal are a cutter with two functions, either a laser to obliterate cutting points, or a line cutter to chop apart the aluminum framework of each ship. To move pieces and yourself around, you also have a grapple gun that can hold, pull in, and push out any items in your vicinity. As you are in orbit, the company you work for has kindly provided you, at great personal expense, a spacesuit with built-in thrusters and a very small, to begin with, oxygen supply. The physics of being weightless feel fantastic, as I played the majority of my time with a mouse and keyboard. I did try out the controller option and it was functional but a bit too stiff to aim with. Hopefully this can be ironed out for the upcoming console ports that were announced in 2020 but still don't have a release date. Eventually, you will unlock other things such as tethers, which help pull one or multiple objects towards a point of your choosing, and explosive charges, which can be both satisfying and deadly, depending on your skill with using them. Backing all of this up is a robust upgrade system that is tied into how well you salvage each ship. In general, there will be 5 stages of rewards while you salvage, with each stage offering up more overall experience and a handful of upgrade points. This is the main loop of the campaign, as you slowly go through each new mechanic and earn an overall level that gates how tough of a ship you can attempt to chop apart and which upgrades you have access to. Ships start out rather easy as they are depressurized and low in their hazard level. After 5 hours or so, you will need to be very mindful as you use that cutting tool, because if you use it in the wrong area, it will lead to a quick and violent death, which costs you a cool $150,000 per regeneration. Let's get more into the controls, survival systems, and types of ships you'll be dealing with. Being a game set in a weightless environment, the controls take some getting used to. Momentum is a big thing, and early on your thrusters are quite weak, so if you're going fast and you hit something, expect that spacesuit to rupture and to have one of them quick and terrible deaths to soon follow. WASD are your main movement keys for forward, back, left, and right. That's W, A, S, and D respectively. The spacebar controls going up, and the C button thrusts you downward. Q and E rotate you left and right, and the left control is your brake, which is key to constantly use. Because everything you do builds up an energy behind it, such as using your laser cutter in the line mode pushing you back. Mastering the movement around the environment while maintaining your accuracy is key once things such as the timer are introduced in the standard and harder modes. You have a set time for each shift, and once it's up, you are teleported back into your hub, which I'll get more into in a bit. There are a few meters you'll need to keep an eye on, those being your O2 gauge, your jetpack fuel amount, and your suit and personal health indicators. Each of these can be replenished either at the market kiosk next to your hub or by finding refills left inside the ship you're currently working on, which are great because they're free. There is a mode that turns all of these systems off and lets you just focus on the fun you can have while doing your daily cutting and pulling routine for those not interested in the constant management of those meters alongside the even more restrictive and difficult modes that are on offer. What is the reason for all of this cutting? Well, unlike a lot of these types of games, there's a robust and well-voiced narrative explaining it all. The story takes place a few hundred years from now in a world where capitalism has gone just a hair, well, a heck ton, too far. A crazy thought, I know. Through well-written and intriguing radio communications, you'll be carried through a tale of personal worth among a group of your coworkers. No spoilers like always, but it was nice to have a reason behind what I was doing instead of just seeing the numbers change after each shift as my main motivation. Graphically, the game looks decent enough and is very well optimized. I had every setting maxed out at 1440p resolution on my PC and averaged about 124 frames per second. It's not stellar looking, but as the ship sizes increased, the detail and the scope of things did alongside them. This carries over to your pre-shift hub, where you will receive your communications, use your upgrade tree, and customize it with various posters. You get to relax there between your day-to-day shift. So, do days really matter in space? It's all point and click inside the hub though, with no 3D movement like in the main game, and everything loaded nice and quickly on my NVMe SSD. Bug-wise, I didn't run into anything major playing on the Windows Store through the new beta Xbox app, which is finally good. And as I said before, that performance was excellent. I'm on an AMD setup with a 5800X CPU, 6700XT GPU, 64 gigs of RAM, which I know is massively overkill, and that NVMe SSD, and by turning down a few settings and using AMD's resolution upscaler, I comfortably hit over 165 FPS, which matched my monitor's refresh rate easily. In conclusion, Hardspace Shipbreaker is a damned good game, and it's on Xbox Game Pass for PC. It does retail for $35 either on the Windows Store and Steam as well, and I think it's worth it through either way of playing. It can get a bit samey towards the end once you've seen all the tricks it has up its sleeve. Those tricks, though, are fantastic, and the control scheme behind it all feels great. Few games have ever had such a satisfying gameplay loop for me, and if you have any type of decent gaming PC, then this one is well worth a download. Thank you as always for watching, and if you can like and comment, and if you aren't subscribed, hit that button too. That is the lifeblood of YouTube, and it'll really help our channel grow. We'll see you here next time on XboxEra.